Hi guys, I'm new here. My name is Kate. I've never taught at the U of M before. It's a lie. I don't know. I think this is my, but it's exciting nonetheless. Can you guys hear me okay? Go like this. Okay, great. The leg is like super long today. So just want to make sure. If my video starts getting skippy, yep, that's the word I'm going to use, like start waving or something, so I know to slow down. So today I have the smooth review, which is a little because I didn't teach most of this, like please take it. So I'm going to go over some three main topics that we use in smooth a lot, and I'm going to apply them to different dances in like really simple patterns right away, because none of you guys have a huge space, so I'll try to keep it contained, like, but let's do a warm-up because we know. Let's talk about how to stand up tall. So you're going to stand up. If you have a wall nearby, you can push yourself against that wall, so the back of your head and your shoulders and your rear and maybe your heels are close to the wall, but especially the back, you'll be like, oh crap, that's far back. But you're standing against a wall, so you're going to peel yourself off the wall or the imaginary wall so you can bounce on the balls of your feet. So this is like a ready position, and especially for smooth, we're going to bend our knees just a little bit. We're going to bend at our knee joint and then our hip joint too. So a little bit like you're about to sit down in a chair. So that's how we stand up tall. We get the back of our head back and we stand over the balls of our feet with our knees and our hips and our ankles like ready to go. Oh, I see. Oh, what? Is this thing transcribing as I go? That freaks me out. Okay. New semester, new technology. Okay. Horrifying. So we're standing up tall. The next thing is, because I think you guys have mostly all been in class, put your hands on your waist and then squeeze your elbows together in front. Squeeze them forward like this way. It's gonna round your shoulders forward. Squeeze them back too. Try to, if you can, that's amazing, and slightly impossible. Shake out your arms a little bit. Put your, and not that you need to have them squeezed down the whole time, but definitely have them loosened up a bit, because sitting on our phones and our computers all day, boo for posture. Okay, waltz, and I'm going to go over rise and fall. This is an exercise band, in case you're wondering. I have like this, really looks like a cast. Anyways, so let's go over the back step just to get started. I have so many layers on. Don't talk about it. So back step to start out. I'm going to start by doing the leads part. If you're more ready to do the follows part, by all means do that. But I'm going to back away from you guys, and I'm going to start with my left foot, and I'm going to take a forward step on my left foot and then a side step to the right, and then put my feet together so my right foot's free, and then I'm going to do back step and side on the left together. So that's our back step, and we use it a lot. Like there's not a dance that we don't use a back step in. So again, just the waltz basic: forward on our left, side to the right, together, right foot goes back, side, together. We go forward on the left, side, together, back on the right, side, together. One more, forward on the left, side, together, back on the right, side, together. So as we do these steps, since we're doing the smooth dances, AKA traveling dances, we are trying to take up some amount of space. If you're limited, obviously don't go crashing into anything just to do a big box, but like fill the space that you have. And as we do waltz, it's one of two dances. I don't know how this makes two, but come with me. It's one of two dances that's in 3/4 time. So I'm going to count it for us. So just starting with our left foot again, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I meant one more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I like to think of this as the merengue of the smooth world, which makes me laugh. So if that works for you, yay. Okay, so then we're gonna do the same thing for a second, just so we can maintain our posture. So I'm gonna face you guys so I can see all of you dancing here, but think of that wall behind you. So you get the back of your head pulling back and up and get, oh, hey, get some space in between your ribs and your hips, like stretch up. Make sure you're breathing. Do I need to mute somebody out here? But anyways, we're gonna stand up nice and tall over the balls of your feet. And then we're gonna do the box step. I'm gonna be facing you, so you might be doing the exact opposite of me, but that's cool. So we have our left foot free. I'm going forward on my left foot. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, forward, side, together, back on your right side, together, forward, side, together. If you know how to rotate counterclockwise, please proceed. 4, 5, 6. And notice that as I'm dancing with my side to you, that the back of my head is pulled up nice and tall, but I'm still towards the balls of my feet as I land in a corner. So I'm not letting my head weight pull me too far back, where I can do this with my feet and then fall off screen. I still want to be towards the balls of my feet. So I'm ready to go whichever way I need to. And I'm not pulling on my partner, my imaginary partner, who's super awesome at partnering me right now. Okay, so questions on that so far? We good? Waltz is slow. So we have a lot of time to do a lot of things, which is either really good or really bad. So one of the first things that we learn for waltz is rise and fall. And it means going up and down. But you know, you gotta throw the dance lingo out there. So if we go with the box, I'm gonna go sideways to you just so you can see it maybe more properly. As I do my box, I'm gonna first just stick my left foot out in front of me. I haven't done anything with this right leg of mine except shake it around a little bit. Then to do my fall, I'm just gonna bend my knee a little bit so my foot slides out a little bit farther. So this is me standing up nice and tall. My left foot is out in front of me. To get a little bit more reach or travel a little bit further is why we do rise and fall. So I'm gonna bend my knee, sit in my chair a little bit, and then from here, I have so much potential energy that I can take a pretty decent sized step. Whoosh, am I gonna stay on frame? Yeah, yeah. And then from here, you probably came up a little bit, which is good. So now I'm like just standing up nice and tall. And my leg, I'm gonna face you guys. My leg is mostly straight on my left leg. Now I'm gonna push up onto my toes. Woohoo! This is 2, by the way. And then I'm gonna stay up on my toes for 3 and draw them together. Now on 3, now I'm gonna turn this way just to be confusing, sorry. I'm up on 3. As 3 is coming to the next one, or 4, I'm gonna lower down and let my right foot go out behind me as I bend my left knee. So again, I have all this potential energy stored in my left leg. So now I can take a big push, and take my nice big side step. Now again, facing you guys, I'm on my right foot. I'm gonna push up to 2 toes. So I'm a isosceles triangle right now. And then I'm gonna draw my feet together, still up on my toes. And now as I start to take my next step, I go down and let my heels kiss the ground and let my left foot go out as I bend my right leg and push. It's just all of that. We're gonna do that like a million times, or like 7, slow, and then a little bit faster as we go. Hold on, this is making me sweaty. Okay, so I'm gonna stay facing this way, I promise. So we start, and the reason that I have you all do this to start out is because a lot of times we hear that we're supposed to travel and we're like, hey, look at my big steps, which is the right idea, but wrong execution. So when we're taking big steps, we want those big steps to come from our standing. Yes, we want those steps, those big steps, to come from our standing leg. The standing leg, because I'm going to use this term all the time, is the leg, guess what, that you're standing on. So this is my standing leg. This is not my standing leg. I can use my not standing leg to take a big step, except the problem is I have a partner. Usually when we're ballroom dancing, we have a partner. So if I just wang my leg out there, do you see what I did to my posture? I like seesawed a little bit. Now, whether you're the lead or the follow, you did something messed up to your partner right there to take a big step. And we're trying to avoid that. So as weird as it is to do all this like ballroom dancing stuff on our own, it's so good because we do partner is sometimes weird. Leg, take a big step onto my left. Now I'm going to go up onto 2 toes for 2. I'm going to squeeze my legs together for 3. Now as I lower, like put my heel on the ground, that right leg go out behind me, and now I push up onto 2 toes on 2, squeeze my legs together for 3, and lower down and let my left foot come out as my right foot bends. Now we're gonna do it again a little bit faster. So we go push, go up, squeeze, lower down, and separate your feet. Push up to 2 toes, squeeze your legs together, lower down, separate your feet. Push, 2 toes, squeeze your legs together, lower down, and separate your feet. Push, 2 toes, squeeze your legs together. Quad ankles. Remember, we have ankles. So it's gonna get awesome in here. I had hot pink socks on earlier, and I know you guys missed this from in-person classes. So here you go. As we're doing this up and down, we can do it just by doing this. Like, is this an Oompa Loompa thing? Right? This is, yes, yes. Thank you for combining Ben and Lila. We can do it just through our legs and have our quads burning. Our quads are still gonna burn even if we do it with a different joint, but we can also get more amplitude if we use our ankles. So if I bend my knees and then I drive up through my toes, ooh, do you see that lift? I'm lifting my heels off the ground, and then I continue to straighten my knees, woo-hoo-hoo, and I remember what balance is. And then I start to bend my knees and then lower down my heels. So I'm always going up from my heels first to my knees, and then bend my knees and lower my heels. That's using all of those awesome joints that we have in our legs. And it makes our rise and fall squishy instead of clunky. Because a lot of times when we start doing it's really easy to kind of forget, you know, you're supposed to do rise and fall, but you're like, oh, but I got to do this thing, and you'll end funking on 3. But if you squeeze through, it'll give you a nice like oozy rise and fall, which bad sounding medically but great sounding dancingly. Yep, I'm going with it. Come along with me. Okay, so we're gonna do a couple more boxes. I'm not using music right now because there's another lesson going on, but I'm going to sing for you. But come along with me. So again, I'm going to do the lead part. I'm going forward with my left foot, sorry. And I'm going to go like up to tempo, which is still going to feel pretty slow. So left foot going forward. Here we go. We drive 2 toes and lower down, drive 2 toes, squeeze, or drive 2 toes, squeeze, lower, drive 2 toes, squeeze, lower, drive 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze those ankles. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks so nice. Okay, like 2 words. It's never 2 words. As if you're new, like newer, you're like, holy, that's a lot of stuff to do. Your feet of any is make sure your feet are going where they're supposed to, when they're supposed to. Those are like the 2 greatest facets of ballroom dancing, because we know when we get, as we get with partners and we're partner dancing, we have to be singing the same song, meaning like doing the same melody with our feet. Wow, I'm just gonna keep going with my similes here. But if we think we're doing waltz and our partner starts doing like a tango step or a tango rhythm, we're like, hold up, what is going on? So the first thing is to know like just the basic, thanks, is just to do the basic step correctly one time with the music. I know music, not metronomic, but so get the base, and then once you're like, okay, it's fine, try to add rise and fall, or even just posture or whatever you feel the next thing. Hard work. And this floor is so I'm bragging now. Questions on rise and fall? I gotta get moved, people. Moving around. Okay. We're in the question. Ben, go.
When you say that we should be squeezing our ankles together, what does that mean? Like, where's the squeezing happening?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Did she leave the meeting?
Is she gone?
Temporarily booted out. There she's back.
Ah, there's Kate. Kate, you're muted.
Now she's just sideways and muted.
Also sideways.
Also sideways.
What? Just to make things interesting. There we go. There we go. Okay. Okay. I got so excited they kicked me out of the Zoom. Okay. So Ben's question, well, like, how do you squeeze your legs together? Not a silly question, because I've seen it done wrong a lot. So here's the thing. I say squeeze your ankles together, which does not mean, I'm going to do this the best way possible, which does not mean, hold on, let me get there. I did it. I squeeze my ankles together. So I usually talk about this in rhythm, but it's such a good question. Anytime anybody in a ballroom dance class says, like, squeeze your feet together, squeeze your ankles together, like put your knees together, they mean the whole freaking leg, like from your heels, like down here, that bony part that sticks out of your foot, like all the way up, all the way. So it's called inner thigh awareness, and I will refer to it as ITA until I die. But it means, and this is, my floor isn't that slippery, I guess. I could squeeze my legs together. Yeah, I did it. It means you have to use all of those muscles all the way down your leg to get your ankles to come together, not just putting your ankles together. Because then we get cowboy ballroom, which most of you know is my least favorite thing in the world. So whole leg from the top all the way down, squeeze it together. So when I put my ankles together, my whole leg is together. Note, I'm not built like this. Some people, when they put their feet together, their legs are together. Like if I stand naturally, I have a pretty nice gap right there. So when I bring my feet together, I really am squeezing like all of my leg together to get rid of that gap. Good question, Ben. 9 points. Okay, any other questions for Waltz? I freaking love that. There is a gang there in Sydney's. Okay, I'm moving on to tango. I'm going to use this for promenade because I want to. I'm not even going to, I'll do the basic. I'll do the basic for both the leads and the follows. I think everyone should do both parts. Always. So I'm going to do the follows part first since I just did the leads so much for waltz. So I'm going to start facing you guys. But when we're dancing the follows part, we always start on our right foot. I'm going to use the oldest school joke in the whole world because I love it so, because women are always right. It's also a thing about breeding cattle, but we won't get into that. So anyways, as we go back on our right foot, it's a long story. Anyways, we're gonna go back on our right foot, 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, and then go side on our left, side, tap. It's one of the only dances that will ever tap and use as a count. So I'm gonna back up towards you to do the same thing. So our right foot's going back. We do 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, and then side to the left, side, tap your right foot. So you're ready to go with that right foot again. I'm gonna do it again. You can like turn around or just do laps or whatever you can do to make this fit in your room. But again, right foot going back, we do 1, 2, 3, side, tap. One more time, I'm going this way, ready? And 1, 2, 3, side, tap. Now, like waltz, you want to take fairly sizable steps. Most of you don't have a ton of room. So like if you're just doing it, you know, to fill up your space until you hit the refrigerator or whatever, that's totally fine. But just know that it's 1, 2, 3 side tap, which also translates to slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. I also like to count it TANGO because it's funny and it works. So then if we do the leads part, I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna start with my left foot because leads are always left. I don't know, it's not clever. But we go forward on our left foot. 1, 2, 3, side to the right, tap. So like the natural opposite. So if I go on my left foot towards you, I go forward, right, left, side, tap. And same thing as the follows part, I have my left foot free to go forward on the next basic, which isn't gonna really be a problem right now. But okay, we're gonna do 2 more leads basics, and then we're gonna go back and show you what to do with promenade. So leads again, or everybody doing the leads part. We're gonna go left, right, left, side, tap. I'm gonna flip it and go left, right, left, side, tap. Great. Okay, I'm gonna start with the leads part for promenade, not to switch back and forth too much. So when we turn to promenade, doesn't matter what dance we're doing. The rule for promenade is nose and toes. So we're gonna try to turn our nose and toes to the direction that we're gonna be moving in, which for the leads is to the left, like sideways, crab walk style. And then for the follows, it's to the right, but we're not there yet. So if we're just standing here, I'll do this way. So we would be holding our partner like this. We'd have our partner like palm to palm with our left hand, and then we'd have our right hand under her armpit. And we'd be standing on our right foot. So if we just stand here and we're in like neutral position. So my feet and hips and shoulders and head are square to this wall behind me right now, and like my elbows as well. So the idea when we turn to promenade is that we just turn our toes, watch my right foot, my toes, and my nose to this direction, because now I'm going to move this way, like perpendicular to where I started. That's not a super easy thing to do, and no matter what level you are, it feels a little bit awkward. But it's a great position to get into because it adds a lot of variety with patterns and stuff. So again, get everything square. Shoulders and elbows, hips and feet square to like a wall. And then we're going to turn our right foot, most importantly, to the left, and our nose to the left as well. So right now I can really easily see my watch face, which is great. I don't want to not easily be able to see my watch face. I want to easily be able to see my watch face. And again, it feels a little bit goofy because you're like, it might feel a little bit like you're craning your head back, but you gotta counterbalance, people, and it looks awesome, so who cares? Okay, so again, we're gonna just turn to promenade, back to neutral position, to promenade, to neutral position a couple times. So square your elbows and your shoulders and your hips and your feet up with a wall. And then we're gonna turn this right foot about 45 degrees to the left and take your nose 45 degrees to the left as well. Now we're gonna go back to neutral. So on the ball of my right foot, I turn it back to neutral and I bring my nose back to this wall. So again, right foot over the ball of the foot, turns a little bit to the left, turns my nose, and nose and toes back to the wall, and turn to promenade again through that right toe, whoosh, nose and toes. So most importantly is a lot of times when we go to promenade, anybody lead, follow, we know that we have to go that way. So we'll like have done our basic step and then we'll go that way. So I went that way with my left foot, but not with my right. And now I'm doing like a big old plie squat in cowboy ballroom, which is not good. So we want to turn both of our feet, especially our standing leg, to the direction that we're going to go in, which again will give us more potential energy to take a nice big step into our basic step. So if we all do the leads part, we're going to do a kind of tiny basic and then turn and just hang out for a second. And then I'm going to use my goggles and look at you. So left foot going forward, 3 steps. We go left, right, left, side. We're all square to a wall. And then we're going to turn our nose and toes. Now stay there. You stay, you stay, you stay. Oh, look at you all. It's pretty good. What are you guys doing? Okay, so we turn. Now we more or less do a basic step in this position. The leads are going to take a step with their left foot, left. They're going to take a step with their right. They're going to swing around just a little bit to like neutrify. It's a word. And then go forward, side, tap. And that's like a basic promenade step. So let's do the leads part for that again. I won't make you stop. So I'm going to start with my left foot free. I go 1, 2, 3, side. On the tap, where I would tap, that's where I turn my nose and toes. So my partner has like a couple beats to realize we're going somewhere. And then I go left, right, turn a little bit, left, side, tap. And that is the basic promenade. I really enjoy turning on the O or the tap, the TANGO of the basic, or the last slow, or 7/8, however you want to call it. So my partner knows that I'm going to do something. Plus, it tends to look snappier if I do it on that last slow than if I do it like stepping into the next step. So I'll show you what I don't like so much. So version 2, which I discourage, would be going slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, 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 quick, quick, slow. So I turned going into the promenade basic instead of before it. And one of the characteristics of tango is that it's supposed to be that it's supposed to be more staccato than legato. Like waltz is all kind of sappy and romantic and like, oh, and tango's like a little bit of love-hate relationship, fiery. I don't know, it's in movies the most. So if we do the correct version one more time for the leads, and then I'll flip around and do the follows part. So we're gonna turn on the O as I count this. We're gonna go T-A-N-G-O, T-A-N-G-O. I just really didn't give myself the space there. Okay, so let's do the follows part for this, and then I'll take questions because there's usually a lot of questions about promenade. But if I'm doing the follows part, we're going to do the basic first and then switch back and forth from promenade to neutral a couple times. But let's review. We have our right foot free. We're taking 3 steps back. 1, 2, 3, side. Now here's where, instead of turning our right foot, our left foot is the standing leg. So I'm going to turn my left foot about 45 degrees to the right, and my nose. Oh no, I'm not too close to you guys. So again, this was nose and toes. I don't have much weight on my right foot because I need to walk into my next promenade basic with it, but you can use it just for balance. Always a good idea. Anyways, so if we're in promenade position and my left foot has turned in my direction of movement, I'm going to go back to neutral. So I'm going to turn over my left ball of foot to bring my foot back to square with this wall. And then let's turn back to promenade. So we turn over the ball of our foot and turn our nose and toes. Let's go back to neutral, nose and toes. One more time to promenade, nose and toes. I'm not falling over, you're falling over. And then back to neutral. So same thing, we'll go for follows as it does for leads. We're gonna turn on that O or 7/8 or tap step. So we have like a nice little staccato, sharp movement, because the only thing that should be moving is our nose and toes. And then we'll add like actual movement after that. So I'm gonna back up. We're gonna do right foot back. We're gonna stop for just a second on that O where we turn to promenade, and then we'll shoot out for the basic. So we do 3 steps back starting on our right foot. 1, 2, 3, side. Now we're gonna turn to promenade. O, hang out there for a second. Let me look at you. Yes, I like it. Oh, the noses are up. It's so good. So now taking a step with your right foot, we go right, left. Now this is where the follows part gets crazy. We're gonna do about 90 degrees of a turn to the left. So now we're back square to our partner. And then we step back with our right foot back, side, tap. Let's do that again. The follows part is a little more complicated. The end. Okay, so this time we won't stop, but we will go slowly. So right foot going back, we go back, 2, 3, side, nose and toes, right, left, swivel, and then back on our right side tap. Good, let's do it one more. I dig it. Ready? And back, 2, 3, side, nose and toes, forward, forward, back, side, tap. Okay, now I'm gonna try an experiment.
Gordy, can you give me a tango? Now we're gonna do it with music. Oh my gosh, I think. Tell me if you can hear this. Like, kind of play it loud, because then it doesn't, I'm too loud. A little bit louder. Okay, I'm gonna count you guys in. Can you hear me and the music? Yeah. Okay, so follows part. Here we go. And back, 2, 3, side, nose and toes, right, left, back, side, left. Yeah! Let's do it again. This is fun. Wait for it. Here we yo. And back, 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 side, nose and toes, forward, forward, back, side, back. Okay, now it's like a quiz. I know it's the first week of class, but let's do a quiz. We're gonna go back and just do the leads part one time to music. Crank it up again, DJ. Okay, ready? Here we go. Left foot. 1, 2, 3, side, nose and toes, left, right, forward, side, together. I think it worked. You all get A's. Aww. Okay. It's not embarrassing to teach these classes in front of other people at all. Okay, questions on promenade. And it doesn't have to be tango, it can be anything. Promenade or just tango in general. That's a broad topic. Ben.
Should my non-standing leg, foot, toes also turn?
Whoa, hold on, I can't hear you for nothing. Okay, try again.
Should my not standing leg, toes turn too? So when I'm turning my nose and toes, should I turn both my feet or just my standing leg, foot?
I got it. I'm got it. Oh, okay. Go one more time. Sorry.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Should I turn both my toes or both of my feet's toes or just my standing leg toes?
That's what I thought you were asking, but I wanted to make sure. So usually okay, so I'm going to back up a little bit. I usually keep my foot out to the side as opposed to tapping it like feet touching. Okay. So if I'm doing the leads part, I'll go forward, 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 side, tap. But notice my foot really didn't do anything. I just held there for a second. So this foot is already a little bit turned out because I like it like that. But both feet should be at the same angle, which is, it looks silly when you look at your feet. Should be a little bit silly looking. They should be both at the same angle. So you don't want if you're the lead, you don't want your left toe still straight and your right toe that way. You want them both facing the same way because hopefully you're going to be pushing off into that direction. The same thing will go if you're the follow. As a follow, I like to go tap, and I didn't do really anything with my right foot. And this is already a little bit turned out because I'm using the inside edge ball of foot. But as I turn to promenade, I do want them at the same angle. So if I look down at my feet, I'm like, those babies are parallel feet. What? It's like ballroom gang signs. I love it. Christine, you had a question, maybe? Yes.
Yeah, I have a question on promenade. So when you turn on the ball of your foot, you need to lift your heel a little bit. How do I stay the same level when I'm like doing this?
You guys are asking really good questions. This is the dumb answer. Practice. So whenever we're doing smooth, unless we're in the middle of a step, I always want the weight, my weight towards the balls of my feet. So if I'm turning to promenade, yeah, my heel is on the ground. I should go this way. Here it comes. Yeah, my heel's on the ground, but there's not really any weight in it anyways. So as I turn my foot to promenade position, like my heel is kind of shuffling the ground. Like if I was in sand, it would definitely be drawing a little circle with my heel in the sand. And so that's like the dumb answer is practice and hopefully have just slippery enough shoes and floor that like you can slide it a little bit. The other thing is like if you're on a sticky floor, you had weird shoes on or whatever, you will learn, especially when you have a reference point like a partner, that you'll like take it out through your knee a little bit. So even if I am lifting my heel, I can do stuff with my knee and my hip. And obviously you wouldn't lift it up this high to turn to promenade, but you could if you needed to. Like maybe you're dancing on carpet or something. I've done it all. It's sometimes you got to do it. Good question. Anybody else? Yes, Steven.
My question is about something that, well, maybe not relevant right now. I'm curious, is the lead communicating that it's going to be promenade and not another basic only based on the follow seeing him whip his head to the left, or is there another element to it?
Damn it, Steven. It's okay, so I like to tell my very beginners that part of it is a visual lead. Like you're not really looking at your partner, right? Like they're out of the corner of your eye, hopefully, because your partner is a little bit offset to you, but you still have your peripherals. So if I'm the follow right now, I'm like, what is he doing? I'm gonna go that way too. Like you'll see that face turn, right? So definitely part of it is visual. And especially at the beginning, when you're not dancing super close to your partner, if your partner is this far away, it takes a lot of practice to feel them turn their foot. And there's a lot of things that people will do in their frame that to someone who's used to it, you'll be like, oh, they're turning to promenade. But when you're new, you're like, well, I don't know what foot I'm on. Who cares what foot they're on, right? So like beginning, definitely visual. And then for follows, and this is sort of like the short end of the stick that we get. If your partner turns to promenade, they're no longer coming at you. So sometimes the first few times that you do promenade, you'll be like, whoa, yeah, I'm totally going that with you. And you might be like a half a beat behind or something, but you'll get there and then you'll start to put those cues together. When you get higher proficiency levels and you're dancing closer to your partner, you definitely can feel that partner turn their foot, which is why it's so important to turn your standing foot, because it changes a whole lot of lines in your hips. Like even though you're trying to keep those hips square to your partner, you can't do that much to your foot and have nothing happen to your hips. So short answer, visual first, and then on down the road, it'll be very obvious through body contact and all that stuff. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out when class ends. I'll get there. But questions, other questions? These were all like super good. We're moving on. Okay, we got Foxtrot. Everybody's, thank you. I was pretty sure, but I wasn't real sure. Okay, everybody's favorite dance, Foxtrot. I knew it was gonna be you two who'd be like, yeah, Foxtrot. Okay, most of you know the story already, but I used to hate Foxtrot. It seems so dumb to me. I'm like, it's walking around the floor, kind of bouncy. Did not enjoy that class. When I was a student, I would be like, oh, you're doing Foxtrot? I gotta get a drink of water. And then I'd come back like 25 minutes later. So, but now I really enjoy it. And here's the reason why. And our main focus for Foxtrot is CBM. So the acronym is for counter body movement, counter body motion, contra body motion. Some form of those words gets put together into this lovely acronym called CBM. Oh, so many times people just throw out the acronym and not describe it. Here's what it is. When you're walking, normally, which I'm not going to be able to do now, you're walking normally, your legs and your hands swing opposite each other. Freeze frame. Like even if you don't want them to. I have to find the clip from 30 Rock. Anyways, so that's counter body motion. And mostly it helps you keep balanced, which, come on, we all need some more balance, right? So when we do CBM, especially for Foxtrot gets so much cooler looking and feeling, I might add. So we're gonna do this. I always do this as a warm up, and you're gonna do it with me. So I like to start with my right leg going back because I'm generally a follow, but I'm gonna stand on my left leg, I'm going to do this a little bit sideways first. And the action that I'm going to do with just my legs is I'm going to reach my leg back and then come back to neutral, and reach my leg back and come back to neutral. So it's a lot like what we were doing with rise and fall to start out with, without falling over. Now, I'm going to throw up my arms in like practice frame. So just my elbows are more or less straight out from my shoulders. And I'm just holding, you know, a broomstick or whatever in between my hands. So now as I do this, I'm going to face this way now. As I do this, I'm going to let my, what is this? My right side come forward a little bit. My right shoulder come forward. And when I say shoulder, I'll get to it in a second, but I'm going to put my right foot back and my right shoulder forward. What happens most of the time when we start doing this is your right foot will not track straight backward. And bless it, it shouldn't. So we're adding a little bit of rotation through our standing leg, which I'll get to in a second. And you see it mostly through your shoulders. I'm going to add on to this like right now. So I say shoulder is going forward because that's the thing that you see going forward, right? I got to face you guys now. So if you're watching me, you're like, well, her right shoulder is going forward. But really, this is starting, watch my knee. My knees are going to actually start rotating a little bit to the left. And then it spirals up through my hips. And then the thing you see it through is my shoulders and my head. But really, this part, like my torso, isn't really twisting. So I'm not doing this, which is really just twisting from my waist up. I'm really trying to think of my ankle, my very favorite joint in the whole world, my ankle, twisting just a little bit. And through that, you get a little bit more degree of rotation just going through your top, because something about physics or something. So, so if we start standing on our left foot and we're reaching our right foot back, we think about turning just a little bit through our ankle to the left. And then that right foot should go wherever it wants to go. Mine goes out, I don't know, probably about 45 degrees from where I started. Like it's not going straight back. It's kind of like dog legging out to the right a little bit. Great. Let it go that way. So good. Now, to be fair, we have to do, oh, look at how nice it looks. We have to do it on our left foot going forward. So I'm going to face this way again. The action when we're going forward is similar to what we were doing in waltz, where I'm going to stick my foot out and then lower through my right leg and come back up, and lower through my right leg and come back up, and lower through my right leg and come back up. And what we're going to do is bring our right side forward again with our left side. So if I stand this way, my left foot is going to go forward and my right side, ooh la la. And if it helps to think of how it would look when you're walking, great. Sometimes that doesn't help at all, but I'll show you what to do if you're practicing this. So I'm letting my left foot go out. I'm rotating my right side from my ankle, but you see it mostly through my top half and my elbows. There was something I was gonna say. Rotating. Oh, so if you're practicing this by yourself, it's really easy to get into gingerbread mode, which many of you know is how I like to talk about turns. There's many turns that we do that we want to be in gingerbread mode, where you're like, I'm a starfish and I'm turning. When we're doing CBM, we do not want to be in gingerbread. So if I'm doing the follows part, or just back on my right leg, which by the way is great practice for leads. If I'm doing this step and I like continue to take my step back, I want to see that my right arm and my left foot are forward. Then I've done it correctly. It's really easy when you're practicing by yourself and there's no partner and you're like, I'm doing some rotation. To do this, sorry, I'll do it a couple times, because this feels kind of nice too. But my left side is rotating. So if I continue to take my step, my left arm and my left foot are lined up over each other. And that's gingerbread mode. And that's what you don't want to be doing if you're trying to practice CBM. So it takes a little bit of this when you're practicing at first. Yeah, I'm just so impressed that so many of you just did that. I thought I had that down. So when you're practicing by yourself, kind of like check in, like do a couple. I used to be in gymnastics. So we would be like, we do timers for things, which were like prepping actions for things. So we do like 4 timers and then stop and like check in and see that your right arm and your left leg are forward. And then you could continue and like do whatever your next exercise was. But that's a really good way to get started. Now, let's make it more awesome because we're gonna do just the leads part first for just a regular basic. So come with me. The like beginning foxtrot basic is with your left foot free. We're not gonna do anything fancy yet. We're gonna go forward, forward, side together to your left, and then you would do it again, forward, forward, side together. I'm sure most of you don't have room for 2 basics, so we'll just do 1. So just the feet again, left foot going forward. We have left foot, right foot, side together. Timing, timing for it goes slow, slow, quick, quick, right? Make a little back upside down L, number 7, whatever. And you could do that all the way around the room, all the way around the room, all the way around the room, except we're gonna make it fancy. So we're gonna do that CBM on just the first step and see what happens to your next steps after that. So if I'm standing, I'm gonna go a little bit diagonal so you can possibly see more what we're doing. We're gonna start with the little timer exercise, which means we're gonna prep with our left foot sticking out. And we're gonna do like 1, 2, 3, go. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. Now I'm gonna take my step forward, forward, side together. Yes, I don't know if you came with me on that, but let's all do it together on this next one. So 1, 2, 3, we're swinging our right side forward from our right ankle. We're gonna prep that 3 times and then we're gonna take off and do forward, forward, side together. Okay, so conmigo. We go 1, 2, 3, and then push forward, forward, side together. So what might have happened, I don't know, I can't see it. Let's do it one more time. And I'm gonna go this way so I can kind of watch you guys do it. Okay, so 3 timers. First, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, push, forward, forward, side together. Ha! Okay, so first of all, what might have happened is that you traveled a little bit further than you would on like just a foxtrot basic. And second of all, you probably had like a nice little like swervy thing going on with it. And the problem that I always have with beginning foxtrot basics is that it looks very plodding. Like it literally looks like walking. And it is like when, not Fred Astaire, Arthur Murray, Harry Fox, I can't remember, old guy in the 20s, he made it up. It was like literally the conversation dance. So like you weren't supposed to be super offset to each other. You were supposed to be able to hold a conversation because it was literally like walking, but we don't do that anymore with any of the dances. So when you add that CBM into it, it's gonna curve a little bit to your left. And then just because you have to take that momentum somewhere, it's usually gonna curve a little bit to your right, and then you're gonna get a nice rotation on it. And it's gonna look so much cooler and be so much more fun. Okay, let's do it 2 more times for the leads part, and then we're gonna do the follows part. And then if you have questions, get them brewing, okay? Leads part, we gotta do the preps first, and then we'll do it without preps. So 3 preps first, ready? Go, 1, 2, 3. Now we push forward, forward, side together. And then no preps. Just go. Ready? And forward, forward, side, together. So much more swooshy. God, I love Foxtrot. Foxtrot is the best. I'm not lying. Okay, so now we're gonna do the follows part and leads. I can't more highly recommend that you do these exercises going back as well, because bless you, when you learn to lead first, a lot of times your forward steps are very strong, and then you start going backward like more at a 50-50 rate than as when you were beginning, and you'll end up going like thunk thunk side together, and you won't have like a nice reach, you won't have nice CBM, like all this stuff, because you haven't had to go backwards and get the heck out of the way. So these are really important exercises for the leads as well. We're gonna do the timers again before we do the basic steps. So nice and slow. We're standing on our left foot. We're letting our right foot go back and our right shoulder come forward. We're gonna do 3 timers. So we go 1, a 2, 3, and then we push back, 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 side together. That wall comes up fast. Okay, again, 3 timers. Ready, go. Reach and stretch that right side forward. 1 more. Now we push. 1, 2, side together. I'm gonna do it one more time facing you guys so I can see what you're doing. Ready, timers first. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, and go. Push, push, side together. Okay, let's do it one time without preps, just so you can feel it going. Ready, and go. Side together. Excelente. All right, ask me questions.
Do you have a good CBM drill that we could do to maybe
Like,
is it?
the one that we were just doing, I do it on both feet in both directions.
Okay.
It'll hurt your brain a little bit, but like what I usually do is I'll do it all on one foot. So I'll do like the leads part with my right side going forward, and then I do my left foot going back. Oh, that one will hurt your brain. Yeah. And then I switch. So I'm going like kind of around the clock. And then I do right side going forward. First of all, your hip will get real tired, and then your ankle, like everything else. But yeah, all of them, all of them. CBM, such a good question. Contra body motion, counter body motion, counter body movement. All of those are correct. It's like some combination of those is what it stands for. And then it's the concept of your lower limb and your upper limb moving opposite each other. So like your left foot and your right hand going forward. You guys know how hard left and right is for me. It's so dorky. But like when you're walking, and it helps you continue balance. That was a good question. Ooh, yeah, right? Because everybody forgets.
I got one for you, Kate.
Shoot.
Okay, so I was thinking about so in the basic, when you start on your left foot forward, left foot forward and right side forward.
Yeah.
And then you kind of unwind as you take the side step. Is it a very gradual unwind, or how do you make the unwind match your feet?
Oh, so good. Okay, so depending on what step or move you're doing will give you a lot of hints about what is supposed to be powered and what's supposed to be neutral. So when we're doing the really basic foxtrot move, the first step that we're really trying to do something with is the first step. And then after that, it's kind of like drift, Tokyo drift, baby. And the part where we put our feet together should be neutral. So as I'm doing this basic step, I want to give a bit of oomph and CBM on this first step. And then as my feet come together and I go through neutral, one usually does a little bit of CBM, but less on this next move. And that's where a little bit of your rotation comes from. So we start to do a little bit more CBM there. But as I bring my feet together, because that's the end of the move, I want to be in neutral there. So I would say it's a gradual letting off the pedal of CBM. And by the time you put your feet together, you got to be back in neutral because it's the end of the step. The same thing goes for most, I'm trying to think of, tango is a little bit different, but if you're doing swing and sway dances, any end of a move is usually the part where you're in neutral or neutral for that dance. So if you're doing like continuity style silver, I'm like going way off the rails here. So if you're lost, like don't feel bad. But if you're doing like continuity style or silver, you know, and you end on open left box, you're still in CBM with CBMP, like you have all those things because those are part of your neutral at that level. But bronze foxtrot, close your feet, you're in neutral, you're done doing anything. Yeah. Anybody else? Serious questions from everybody. Okay. He's coming in. He's coming in.
How long did it take for you to stop hating foxtrot?
Yeah. And what specifically did it for you?
CPM, she said.
Oh, never mind.
Really good. Like, do you want the honest answer? Do you want the like, I'm an encouraging teacher answer?
No, the honest answer.
Okay, good, because that's what I'm going to give you. Like a decade, like a solid decade. I mean, I did rhythm for years. Like I was like, I'll teach smooth at like a, you know, bronzy, silvery level, but I never really liked it. And then eventually I started, I'm like pointing, there he is. I started dancing with the guy I'm married to now. And we were like, well, we should dance smooth together because I like had a pretty good headway in rhythm. And then I was like, oh, this is pretty fun. Like it's jazzy. You get to do like this and it's all sassy and whatever, but it took a long time. So yeah. There's some dances that you just don't click with at certain times. And that was mine, man.
Yeah.
No lie.
For me, it was grapevines. As soon as I learned grapevines, it was fun.
Right? Or like a little throw out. A little throw out is good for a lot. Like just when you get to have a free arm, oh man, that's a ticket. That was a fun question. Okay, anything else? Like usual. Oh, well, okay, that doesn't work anymore. If you have any questions, like email me or find me on Instagram. I'm not going to be on Facebook for very much longer, so you don't do that. But like email me or find me somehow. And if you have any questions, like even if they're silly or you think they're silly, they're probably questions that like literally 100 people have asked me before. So like, don't feel shy about asking me because I, like Kai said, I love questions. So good. All right. I'll see you guys next week for super interesting new stuff.